Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build video in The Sims 4. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. I am so unbelievably excited to be able to share this house with you all today. We are well and truly in autumn season now, at least I think we are. I actually kicked off our autumnal builds / autumnal videos last weekend when I uploaded our very first video to the channel, our very first autumnal themed video of 2025 to the channel, and I built an A-frame house. But in today's video we are in Willow Creek. We are on day 3 or day 4 of autumn, of course, and we are building a 4-bedroom 2-bathroom autumnal themed family house. This house has everything. It has a playroom for the kids, it has a big back garden, it's got like quite subtle, I would say, like autumnal / Halloween decorations inside as well, and it's just a complete vibe. I am so thrilled with how this house came out and I'm really excited to be able to share the process with you. So currently we are trying to work out a colour scheme here. Now granted, I did find a reference image on Pinterest that I was using at the time, however I have since deleted it from my computer, so I'm so sorry that I cannot put that up on the screen as usual. I'm so sorry. This is the problem when I start a build. I think I started this build last week. It didn't take me super long to actually complete this house. I just did it over a fair few sittings because I've had quite a bit going on. I've left my job. I'm starting my new job on Monday. We're doing some like DIY around the house and things like that, so it's been quite like an eventful time. And so when I sat down to record this I'm sure it was last weekend that I sat down to record this, or it could have even been during the week. It doesn't matter. So I did it over a few sittings, and that's something that I wouldn't usually do. I did want to get this house, I did aim to get this house up on the channel like midweek, like this week just gone, but it just didn't happen, as I've just explained why. There's just been a lot going on. But hopefully when I start my new job, which primarily involves me working from home, I am going to have a little bit more time to actually do content creation, which is going to be really nice. I'm not going to have a commute, so I'm not going to be commuting 8 to 10 hours a week, so that immediately there is going to be time back. So I'm very excited for this new chapter. But yes, that's why there hasn't been like that many, I say not that many videos. I've still been posting consistently, like at least once a week, but yeah, I want to start getting into live streaming again now that the weather has cooled way down. And yeah, like I said, now that I've got more time to do it, so a lot is going to be happening, I would say, over the next few months, but a lot of really good stuff, and I'm really excited. But we did finally like land on a definitive colour scheme, which you can see it did take me a few goes because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this house. And truth be told, when I was doing this landscaping here, I still wasn't 100% sold on it. I liked the structure of the house, I liked the colour scheme, but I'm not usually into symmetrical builds. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but like sometimes I really like them, and then other times I think it just looks too polished, too perfect. However, there are some houses such as this one that exist that actually look like this, so that's why I was like, oh, you know what, let's let's just go with it. And I don't know why as well, the exterior seemed a little bit too simple to me. Like there wasn't an awful lot of detailing going on, which is another thing that really threw me off. Like there might be some people sat there going, well, it looks like there's quite a bit of detailing here. I don't know what it was. It's just something that was a little bit uncomfortable for me. It took me a little bit of time to get used to the whole build and the idea of it, but eventually I fell in love with it. And I think, yeah, I only just completed the interior of the house yesterday afternoon, I think it was. I had 2 further bedrooms to do as of yesterday afternoon, which I did complete. But then this is when I decided to add this like dormer window area here, which I think definitely helped with the detailing sort of fiasco that I was just referring to when I was saying, oh, there's not a lot of detailing going on here. But then when I added this, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this kind of makes more sense now. I also changed up these like little windows that we put in the pitch of the roof here, and I think they looked a little bit better. I also toyed around with the idea of adding flower boxes, which I did consider for a while, because I think I do keep these yellow ones on for a little bit. I start adding sunflowers to try and pull some more of the yellow tones into the landscaping, but then I was like, no, I'm just not loving the flower boxes. I don't know why, but for me at the minute, the flower boxes, I'm just not really loving adding to my builds. I went through a period of time years ago when every single house I built had flower boxes. Like every single house, it would have flower boxes. And now someone's gonna call me out here. I can't remember the last time I used flower boxes in one of my builds. And then when I do use them, I don't then use them for a while after that, I don't think. I'm saying that with like a little bit of hesitation, because I'm not sure if that is the case, but you can see there's some little pumpkins out here, which I think look really, really nice. I didn't want this house to be like a Halloween house. I often leave like my spooky and Halloween themed builds until October, but during September I do my autumnal builds. So that's why I wouldn't really class this as a Halloween house. This is definitely an autumnal family home, which I just want to get across, because that's usually the process on the channel. Again, September autumnal cozy builds, October spooky builds, Halloween houses, etc, etc. Think Forgotten Hollow in October. that's sort of the theme that we go for there. But then I do love the way that these sunflowers looked as well. I'm really glad that I decided to keep them even without the yellow flower boxes. I think they look really nice. And then I do start adding some terrain paint here, just to kind of like add some more detailing. And then look at this little welcome mat. I thought, oh, it's so cute. It's all autumnal. I honestly, I am so happy that it's autumn. Like, I say this every single year, but I am so happy that it's autumn. And I say this every year too, but I'm trying to soak up every single second of autumn. Like, it's the best, in my opinion, time of year. It's so cozy and just, I love it. I love it so much. I always get really sad when Halloween's over, which is really funny because my birthday is the day after Halloween. But I often feel quite sad because I'm like, yeah, but Halloween's over. Even though it's my birthday the day after, it's really weird. And I do love Christmas. So then we've got the build up to Christmas, of course. But yeah, I don't know, there's just something really, really, really special about Halloween and autumn in general. But anyway, now we've moved on to the back of the house, and I was trying to work out how to do this like little roof piece at the back here. So you can see, like, I tried something and then it wasn't quite working, so I just went back to pretty much replicating the front, although I don't add the little dormer window at the back. I just thought it adds just a little bit less symmetry to the house, and it is intentional. I don't want anyone thinking, oh, you forgot about the dormer. No, this was intentional at the back of the house. And actually, when we move on to the interior, it made all the sense in the world, because that's actually where the staircase is. So I think if we'd have added that dormer window area, it would have meant that already quite large space was then large again. So then I do just pull out some landscaping pieces to again replicate what we've got at the front. And this is when I was still having like a lagging issue when I was copying items. So, like, you know, when you use the eyedropper tool, there was like a 2 or 3 second delay, and it's now rectified itself. I don't know whether that's been patched in or whether my game was just having an off time, because I did mention this in one of my other videos. I can't remember which one, and I was like, for some reason I've got like this weird delay, this weird lag when I'm trying to copy items. And someone actually told me, I'm so sorry, I cannot remember your name, that is so ignorant of me. They actually messaged me directly and said, Rachel, just to let you know, this can happen if your Sims inventory, I never know how to say that word, so I'm so sorry, is full. So I mean, my Sims inventory wasn't actually full at the time, so I was like, okay, it does make sense, but just in case anyone else is having that issue, then that can be the cause of it. So thank you so much for taking the time to tell me about that, and I'm so sorry that I've forgotten your name, but you were literally the sweetest. You'd gone out of your way to let me know, and I so appreciated it. I definitely replied to you, but I'm so sorry I cannot at this moment in time remember your name. So this is the pool, the backyard pool. Now, I don't know why I decided to go for this shape. I wasn't going for a heart shape, by the way. This is not an attempt and a fail at a heart-shaped pool. I remember when Love Struck came out and I actually built a woohoo motel and I did a heart-shaped pool, of course. And yeah, this obviously I didn't want a heart-shaped pool in this particular build. I don't know what I was thinking here. I was thinking that, like, obviously the fence at the back, I kind of wanted it to be a little bit wonky, because I always talk about this on my channel, where if I've got like a big back garden space, the worst thing I can do is like just make it a complete square. I think it makes it a lot more difficult to make it look quite natural. And so I often like put little jut out pieces. I'll put this diagonal piece on there just to make things a little less, I don't know, like polished, I guess. But yeah, that's the reason for the shape of the pool. I think if I were to do this again, I would just put a rectangular pool in this particular build, but it's okay. We do have a really big back garden space here, so I was trying to utilize as much of the space as I could without filling it with too much stuff, you know, so that your Sims are overwhelmed. So we've got a swing set here. We've also got a swing set out front, but it's more of, I don't think your Sims actually swing on that one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, your Sims like sit and sort of like rock on it, I think. So that's more of like a chill out one. This one is an actual swing set for the kids to enjoy, which I thought was really nice. And then yeah, there's just a lot of space, but then also quite a lot of activity. So we've got planter boxes, again the swing set, we've got a picnic blanket, we've got a table as well, so I think that's really nice. We've got a barbecue and everything, and then we've got like a little seating area at the back there, which I don't think I filmed. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I thought I was filming when I did that. But you can see the little sofas on the back porch there with the fairy lights. I thought that was really nice. And then we move on to the interior. Now the floor plan, this is the beauty of creating such a symmetrical build, is that the floor plan is relatively simple to sort of put together. And it also meant that the bedrooms were all the same size, which I actually kind of liked, and it offers more room for you and your Sims within gameplay, which of course is always a bonus. Now we do start working on the living room here. This is where I wanted to kind of set the tone for the rest of the house, set the colour scheme, and just see what sort of direction I wanted to go with this particular house. So yeah, we do start with the living room. Again, we're going with like these warm sort of honey woods mixed with more of like the chestnut woods as well, and then a lot of creams. There's browns in here, and then we have pops of course orange too, you know, because it's Halloween, because it's autumn. So this is what I meant when I said it's not a Halloween build. It's definitely more of an autumnal build. Now, with that being said, there are little carved pumpkins around the house. I wouldn't say there's too many. Like, I didn't go too nuts with the carved pumpkins in particular, but yeah, you'll just see sort of like pops of like the autumnal season sort of creeping in here a little bit. Now, I did really enjoy using these, I think they're the cream sofas from base game. I really love them. And then of course I put the throw pillows on there, used a tool to tilt them back, because I've spoken about this so many times on the channel. I love the fact that the team have added these throw cushions. I think it just helps you create such a cozy space, and I genuinely love them, but I will never understand why they sit the way they do. Like they don't tilt back, they almost sit like a little bit forward, and they just look, I don't know, they look so unnatural. So I do use tool every single time to tilt the cushions back, and I know I'm not the only person that does this. I know I'm not. So I think we all feel it, you know, a little bit. But anyway, I do start to pull out again more of like the autumnal decorations, and what I tend to find every single year I do these builds on the channel, and it's the same when I do my festive and Christmas builds too. I often forget which items I usually gravitate towards, because I'm kind of out of practice. You know, I'm just really out of practice. I don't know what items there are, I don't know where the items are, etc. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people probably feel the same thing. But one thing I did really enjoy this year is this new fireplace. Like, that for me is just the epitome of an autumnal fireplace. I'm sorry, it just is. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. This coffee table as well, from what pack is that from? It's the, it'll come to me. It's so perfect for this space. And I also wanted to get across that this is a family house. So I don't think I've spoken about the family dynamic actually, so I do apologise for that. But I imagined that there's 2 parents and their brand new baby, so that's 3 Sims already. Then they have they have like a newborn, they have an infant, they've got 2 twin daughters who are children age, and then they have their eldest son who is still a child but is probably going to be a teenager relatively soon. So it's a very, very young family. And then they also have a dog as well. I was like, this family definitely would have a dog. I feel like the son probably badgered his parents and like, we need a dog. I'd like a dog. And the parents were just like, yeah, let's get a dog. So there is a pet bull in the kitchen. Of course, it could be a cat, but in my head, it was going to be a dog for this particular family. But I really, really like how this living room is coming together already. It just looks so cozy. I love the bookshelves behind the sofa. That just adds a new level of coziness. I've started doing that quite recently actually. I don't know what's come over me, but it's something that I really like to add in my builds at the moment, especially those bookcases. Like, they are so pretty. I love them so very much. And then I was like, okay, well, what sort of wallpaper should we go for in this particular house? And let's just talk, before we talk about the wallpaper, let's talk about this frame TV. How perfect is this? Look, it's like an autumnal scene. Oh my goodness, I was so excited when I pulled that out. I was like, yep, you're getting used in this house for sure. So really excited to use that. I do think I changed the wallpaper. I really do. But I think it's one with like wooden paneling, half wooden paneling, and then like the cream wallpaper on the top, I think. Or not even, it might not even be wallpaper, it might just be like paint or whatever. And then I was determined to put something in this corner here. I'm not entirely sure why that is. But anyway, also, if my voice sounds a little bit croaky, it is because I've only really just woken up. I don't know why I thought this was a good time to film the voiceover. I think because, like I was explaining at the beginning, my husband and I, we're doing a lot of DIY around the house at the moment, and I need to set up and deep clean my office in preparation to make space for my actual like job. So I'm going to have a completely separate desk in my office for that. We're doing out the utility room at the moment as well. We've got a canopy to put up on the balcony. Like, there's so much to do this weekend. And I said to him, I was like, if I can get this video up and done, and then I won't need to worry about it sort of thing, then I'll be completely free then to help with the jobs around the house. So I think that's why I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's get this done, and then I will actually be free to be helpful. So that's why my voice sounds a little bit croaky, is because I haven't been up for that long. I really have not been awake for that long. I have my water with me here to help, you know, if I need to pause and just take a breath, take a sip. But yeah, I'm so sorry if I don't sound like my usual self. It's either that or I'm coming down with a cold, so yay, either way. I am sorry that I sound a bit croaky this morning. But yes, I think we're pretty much done in here, but I do decide to change the wallpaper. But I'm just trying to remember if I did that on camera or off. I did it off camera, look. Can you see we did change it? And I just think this looks so much better. Now, we're moving on to a room that I do not often add in my builds, but I will add if I have the space. So this is the playroom for the kids. This is where all the kids of the household can come in and just enjoy one another's company. They can play together. The parents can come in here and play with them too. It's just, I love, love, love when I have a house big enough for this sort of room. It's so sweet, and I love the fact that it's on the ground floor. I love the fact that it's so close to the living room, so maybe like the parents can say to the kids, look, we'll come in and join you in a bit, but we're gonna watch like our favorite show, and then we'll come in and join you soon. Like you get started and we'll be in soon. Or sometimes I think they're all in here, sometimes like maybe a couple of the kids are in here. Like, whatever the case is, it's just such a nice space to have in a family build. Now, I did allude to this, but this is going to be like at the back end of the video, which we've still got plenty of time. This is probably one of my longer videos on the channel, so I hope you all cozied up with a beverage. But the son is actually really into science, so that's why I added this little science table here. So that, I think that's primarily for the son of the family, because he is really, really into his science, and his bedroom is so fun. It's probably no, I'm going to go with it. It's my favourite bedroom of the entire house, even though I do love the infant's bedroom too. And the twin girls' bedroom's really nice, but it's, that boys' room is just like, it has a special place in my heart. It really, really does. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure there were as many activities in this playroom as possible. I wanted to try and cater for each of the children's ages and make sure that they can all enjoy this space at one time or another, and I think we pretty much achieved that with this. I also wanted to make sure the space was like relatively cluttered, but there was still enough room for the kids to navigate around it, and for you as the player to be able to enjoy it as well. But overall, I'm really happy with how the room turned out. I really am. I think it looks fantastic, and it's such a nice addition, to a family house of this size. And then we move on to the downstairs office. I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, that there was an office in this particular family house, but yeah, there's an office. I don't know whether this is maybe mum's office. I didn't really give too much thought as to what sort of careers the parents had. I think maybe the mum has a working from home job, so maybe she's a writer or something like that, or maybe this is just like the family office, so the kids can come in here and do their homework, etc. Because I don't think any of the kids have their own like desk with computers on, which is maybe an oversight on my part, because the rooms were definitely big enough to allow me to add that sort of thing. But I think because they were so young, I was thinking like realistically, look, I don't know, I don't have my own children. I don't know like at what sort of age they would have their own computers. I know that like they have to do a lot of homework that is based on a computer, but I don't know at what sort of age you say as a parent, right, okay, yep, you're old enough to have your own PC or laptop or whatever. So I don't know, maybe that was slightly ignorant on my part, but that is pretty much the reason that I didn't put that in there. Anyway, we have a little like stereo system in here, which I thought was really nice. And then I did decide to like put a little pumpkin in here, and then just add some little like autumnal window decorations, not these ones here, which I think just adds like that little bit of autumnal something, you know, like I said, there's little homages to autumn and Halloween in this house, not super overwhelming, but just subtle enough, and just, yeah, I really like it. Then we move on to the hallway. Now, usually I would just be like, yeah, let's talk about something else while we decorate one of my hallways. However, with the new introduction of the new Mudroom kit, I was like, okay, let's make this a functional sort of space for the family. I think because there are so many children in this house, it would be important to have a space like this, so when the family are trying to get up and go somewhere, everyone's got to put their shoes on. When they're coming home, everyone's got to take their shoes off. They're going out to the back garden to play, etc. So it was really important for me to actually have this bigger space here, which I think it definitely works. I really like how it looks. It's super warm and inviting and cozy, and just, yeah, I think the Mudroom kit was just such a nice addition to the game, and I'm really thankful for it. It definitely helps me out as a builder, and obviously with helping with like storytelling for the family as well, for the house that I'm building. So I think this looks really, really nice. I'm so thrilled with how it turned out. And again, I just added some like little autumnal decorations here. I think the kids of this particular house are super excited for autumn and Halloween, because I think the parents are super into it as well, although none of the kids' bedrooms has Halloween stuff in, and there was a reason for that. I think what I was thinking was, I don't know about anybody else, but I go quite nuts during this season with decorations in my house in real life, but in the bedroom, like, not so much. I don't know. I don't know what it is. And then I was also thinking, because all of the kids are quite young, I didn't want to be putting like spooky things in their bedrooms, because it would scare them. Like, they're not going to want like silly like scary pumpkins and stuff like that in their rooms, because it would scare me, and I'm not even a child. So I was just like, yeah, let's do that. And I also put these wooden hearts above the little bench there, which I thought looked so cute, honestly. Just added to that space. And then we start working on the kitchen. Now, I think because there was a bay window in here, it did throw me off just a little bit, but this is a really good sized kitchen. It really is. I love how this looks. It's not my favourite room of the house. I think I went a little bit too clutter mad on the kitchen island. And I think when I was taking the screenshots, I was like, oh no, I could have definitely toned that back, like held that back for sure, but it is what it is. I mean, there will be some of you that agree that it's probably a bit too cluttered. Some people may disagree and say, no, the clutter's absolutely fine. It's just down to personal preference, personal taste, and gameplay style, I guess. Do you prefer having more clutter in your Sims builds? Do you prefer like less clutter? I think for me, I like a bit of a balance, so I like to have clutter but not too much of it. Like, I like to be able to tell a story through the Sims houses, but also you have to be aware of like how the game's going to run with so many items on one lot. Like there's just a lot of elements to it. But anyway, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna bang on about it. It's okay. Not my favorite room in the house, but I do still really like this space, and I really tried to sort of utilize every nook and cranny. I did pull out a few items from the kitchen clutter kit. Look, I said when that kit came out, I was like, oh, hello. I was so excited. Like, the clutter's really cute, yes, of course, but that fridge, please. It's like one of my favorite fridges of all time. The cereal boxes, the little jars, just like the oven gloves and stuff like that. I've been waiting for a kit like that for so long. Look, do I think that kits are coming out at an unnecessary rate? Yes, absolutely I do. But some of them just steal my heart, and I suppose that's where they get you. Some of them you just think, oh, this is cute. But I would like to see some more gameplay kits come, because obviously we only have one, and it was the Bust the Dust one, which I don't mind vacuuming in my sim, like when I'm game playing. It's like when my Sims do laundry and stuff like that. It's a mundane task, but it's part of everyday life. So yeah, I personally wouldn't mind seeing another gameplay kit. But anyway, just back to this clutter. I know I said I wouldn't mention it, but like, it's the island. Look how cluttered that island is. I really should have toned that back. I don't know, it just all looks a little bit weird. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just so excited about just putting autumnal stuff down. I was just like, woo, yeah, let's just throw it down anywhere. Oh dear. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay. Obviously had to add another plant in here, because I didn't think we had enough. There's also like a food mixer in here too, so that your Sims can make different recipes. That was really important to me. We've got some like autumnal cards. I think I use them in the living room, but that's not necessarily an issue, I don't think. And yeah, I didn't leave 2 counters free for the cooking together interaction. I think if it were me, I don't know which one I would like declutter. I suppose it doesn't really matter. Just declutter one and you'll be good to go. The cooking together interaction. And then I did consider changing up. Oh no, I did change these up. I was just going to say I considered changing up the curtains, but I don't know how I leave it, because I've got a sneaky suspicion I do something off camera with those curtains. I don't know what, but yeah, not entirely sure. I used to put this little rug down in front of the oven because I was like, oh, that is so cute. And then I did change out the rug because, I don't know, that one just wasn't doing it for me, to this one from Tiny Living, I think, randomly. But this is the kitchen almost done. Obviously putting some more clutter in here because clearly I was thinking that there isn't enough. Oh my goodness. This is why I don't necessarily like making kitchens as big as that. Like, some people may argue that the space itself isn't that big, but there's so many counters that my brain goes, oh right, okay, you've got to clutter all of it. That's why I don't necessarily like, a space as big as that, especially for a kitchen, because my mind just goes clutter, clutter, clutter. Right, okay, anyway, now we move on to the dining room, which is not as much of a cluttered space. It's actually a really, really nice area for your Sims to enjoy their meals together, etc., etc. Oh, and did I change these blinds? Do I stick with these? I can't even remember. I must do. And then I'm like, oh no, why have we not put something here? Oh no. What am I doing right now? Oh dear. Okay, it's okay. I thought we were done with the kitchen. Clearly not. Hopefully we are now. Anyway, back to the dining room. So sorry for all the going back and forth. I'd say that's very unlike me, but I think at this point it's like no one's surprised at all. But anyway, I put a little radio in here as well because I was thinking maybe your Sims like listening to like some music while they're having their dinners together. I think this is a really nice space for your Sims to enjoy like more formal meals. So for special occasions such as birthdays and Harvest Fest and Winterfest and things like that. Yes, it's just a really nice space. I love it. I did add a little, armchair in here too, which I think is really cute. I did go for like a dark green swatch. I think I also put a little throw pillow on there too, obviously, because why would you not? I don't think I keep that pumpkin though, because it just looked a bit goofy compared to the rest of the dining room that looks quite, I'd say, high-end and sophisticated. So I put a fruit bowl in there instead. And then I just put some stacked plates in there too, because maybe the family has like different like plate sets for different occasions or something. I don't know. I feel like I'm overthinking that like massively. Yeah, there we go, with the little throw pillow, tilting it back again because yeah, we all know that leans forward. And then we move on to the downstairs bathroom / laundry room. So I did split this, but I sort of divide the space with this little wooden piece. What am I calling it? Is it a spandrel? I think it's a spandrel technically. Oh dear, it's been a while since I've done a voiceover that's this long, and I think I'm just completely out of practice, so I do apologise for the rambling and the jumping around, etc. And the not knowing the words for really simple things as well, like that's just a major concern. But anyway, this is the bathroom side of it. So I wanted to put the bathroom bit up at the top end, and then the laundry area just as you walk in, because obviously there's a little bit more space with the door not being there. So this is where we put the washer and dryer in. And again, if you don't have laundry day, you could just make this one huge bathroom. You could like, I don't know, you could put a corner tub in here or something. Or you could just rearrange everything and yeah, just do whatever you need to do. But all the rooms in this house are such a good size. Like there's no small room. I think some may argue that the office is kind of small. Like this for a bathroom is big, but for an office, I suppose it's a decent size. But yeah, anyway, I really liked this space. I liked that I decided to split the two areas. I think that was a really nice idea. And yeah, I just think it looks like a really, really nice area for your Sims to sort of come in here and do what they need to do, especially when you've got as many kids as this family does. I wanted to make sure that they had everything that they needed, you know? Right, and now we move on to the upper floor. So the first room that we work on is the parents' bedroom. Again, all the bedrooms are the same shape and the same size, so I hope I don't mention that too much within this voiceover, but just know that is the case for all of these bedrooms. I wanted to go for quite a subtle autumnal theme in here, and I cannot stay away from this bed. I can't. Is it from For Rent or is it from Love Struck, this bed? It's one of the two, and I love it so much. I'm using it quite a lot lately, and I definitely used it in my autumnal A-frame house, but just in a different swatch. This bed just hits to see me coming. It really, really does. Just like this plant in the corner. I love that plant, and it just, like, yeah, I love it so much. I don't know what it is. I also give these parents a double wardrobe sort of situation, which is something that I don't usually do, but again, because of the space, I was like, yep, that definitely works. And then I was thinking, okay, this is where we start thinking more about the family dynamic. I knew that this was going to be a young family. I knew that we were going to have kids in this house. But up until this point, I hadn't really considered just how many. So this is the first one. This is the brand new newborn baby, is this one in here. So yeah, they've just got a little cot here. I think, can you put a newborn in here? Or can you only do this with an infant? Oh dear. Have I given these two infants and one of them has their own bedroom and one of them doesn't? If I have, that is a complete oversight, and I do apologise profusely. But you can change that up if you need to. I'm so sorry. I did add a little toddler potty in here though as well, because obviously if we do have two infants, they are soon going to be toddlers and they will soon need to be potty trained. So I was like, okay, definitely remember to add a little potty up here, because I didn't put one in the downstairs bathroom, I don't think. So that's another oversight, because that means then if you are potty training, then they're going to have to go all the way upstairs to do that. Oh no. But yeah, that's the main bedroom and the main bathroom done up on this floor. Obviously the main bedroom doesn't have an ensuite or anything like that. I did consider adding one in there, but I just decided against it. I wanted there to be more room for you and your Sims to enjoy. And then this is going to be the twin girls' room. I initially thought that there was just going to be one Sim in here, but then I realised when I put this bed in and put it in the corner, I was like, wow, there's a lot of room for activities in here. So I did decide to give her a twin sister. I think quite late on, actually, I decided to give her a twin sister. But yeah, I think these two, they're quite young. I think they're quite young children. You know, they're definitely not near teenager age by any stretch of the imagination. Whereas their brother is, I wouldn't say he's nearly a teenager, but he's old. He was born before the twin girls. That was what my sort of thought process was, and I tried to get that across within like the decorations in each of their bedrooms, but we'll talk more about that when we get onto my favourite bedroom, which is the very last room that we work on, I think. Yes it is. But yeah, with this room, I wanted there to be pops of yellow, pink, turquoise. I did opt for a carpet in here as well, as I did with all the kids' rooms. I just think it makes the space a little bit more cozy, and I think it's better for kids to have... Is it better for kids to have carpet, or is it better for kids to have hardwood floor? I don't really know. You can tell that I overthink stuff quite a lot, can't you? But yeah, again, like, look at all this space, and then I was thinking, okay, we need to obviously put a wardrobe down here, and then this is when I was like, okay, we're going for twin sisters in here for sure. So this is where I decide, yep, you've got a twin sister now. So I really like the space. I think these two get along really well. I think they're thick as thieves. They love each other so much. They enjoy sharing a room together. I think they do like little sleepover situations and stuff like that. It's just so cute. Such a cute thought for these two, honestly. But yes, I just wanted to make sure that they had the same bed, but like different duvet sets, just to maybe... I don't think they've got really different personalities necessarily, or different interests. So obviously they are going to have different interests. They're two different Sims, but I didn't really consider like how different they would be. But I wanted each side of the room to sort of have not its own colour scheme. It's really hard when you're doing a bedroom with a kid's bedroom with two beds, because you want to try and get across each individual Sim's sort of like personality and interests, but the room still needs to flow, you know? And also, I did change up the wallpaper in there afterwards, because I think the teal was just looking far too overwhelming. So off camera, I did change it up for just the wooden panelling that we've seen throughout the rest of the house. It just made more sense to me, and it definitely helped tone everything down. But if you want to change it back, then obviously please feel free to do so. Now this is the landing here, so this is obviously the area of the house that leads onto all the bedrooms and of course the bathroom. Didn't really know what to do with this space, because it's a little bit more space than I would usually have, I think, in a house. But yeah, I wanted to try and keep the theme going on in here. I wanted to make sure that your Sims had plenty of space to hang up all of their family photographs. I think this family are really big on taking photographs and making memories, and so that's why I add all of those picture frames throughout the house, so that you can sort of add them throughout your gameplay. Now the next bedroom that we work on is this is another infant room, isn't it? Yeah, I was like, that's not a toddler bed. so yes, this is the infant's room. Oh dear, I cannot believe I've given... I was like, oh, there's a newborn and an infant, but then I've put a crib. Can newborns go in cribs, or can they only go in those little bassinets? I think I already know the answer to that question. Oh dear, I've messed up. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, because you could definitely fit two infants in here as well if you wanted to. There's definitely space for it. Anyway, it's fine. It's not a problem. Anyway, I wanted to go for like a brown, green and cream theme in here. So it's quite gender neutral, I would say. It's, again, in keeping with the house in terms of the colour schemes, etc. Because obviously the colour schemes within this house are more, I don't know, more of like your natural colours. At least I think so. I'm just trying to think of what the downstairs looks like. That we've literally just gone through together. But yeah, I really like this nursery. I just think it's a really nice space, and I tried to make everything sort of match. We've got like the little infant play mat down there as well from Growing Together, I think that came with in that swatch. That's my favourite swatch. It's got little teddy bears on it. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. We've got the rocking chair from Horse Ranch. I think that was a really nice addition. And then I did struggle with that back wall because it's so blank and it's just so like, I don't know. So I did decide to throw the bookcase down there, which helped separate the space a little bit better. And I just think overall it looks a lot better. I had this little doll house from Horse Ranch. I was like, oh my goodness, if that's not the most perfect thing for this room I've ever seen, I don't even know what. But I did size it down, which when your Sims are playing with it, it does make it look a little bit strange. So if that's something that bothers you, then you can just size it back up. I think the space would allow for that, in all honesty, so that is a good thing. I also remembered as well to add laundry baskets to every single one of these bedrooms, because obviously we have the laundry room downstairs, so I should get brownie points for that at least, because that's something that I often overlook. when I add a laundry room into a Sims build that I do, I'll often forget that your Sims need laundry baskets in the relevant rooms, so when they get changed, you're not just going to have like piles of dirty laundry everywhere. So yay for me remembering that. And then we just add, I can't remember what I add on there. Oh, is it like a little height thing? Oh yes it is, look how cute that is. And then I just moved the little building blocks over there. They're not functional, but I just thought they added to a little bit more detailing. Now we're on to the last room of this build. This is my favorite one. I knew before I came in here that I wanted it to be space themed, which is exactly why I popped this rug down from base game before I put anything else down. And this is when I decided, I was like, yeah, this is the older brother. This is the brother who leads the pack, as it were. You know, he's the one that's quote unquote in charge. Very protective of particularly his baby sisters, but then obviously now his other siblings who I didn't really give a thought as to if they were boys or girls or whatever, so that is entirely up to you to sort of like play through. But yeah, if you download this house and you've got a completely different family dynamic, but you've got like 7 Sims and a dog, just make any changes that you require. Like, you know me, I'm not precious about any of that stuff. Ultimately, I just want this to be a house that's perfect for you and your Sims to be able to enjoy together. So yeah, this room, I think over time just gets better and better and better and better. Although one thing to note is that I do change up the curtain and the blind situation off camera, because it looks okay, but I don't know, it just didn't really fit with the vibe. So I can't actually remember which curtains I ended up using. I suppose you'll have to wait till the screenshots at the end for that definitive answer. But yeah, we've got a dresser in here, a wardrobe, we've got a little beanbag chair. Anything that I could find that was space themed, I definitely tried to add in here as well. So the posters, the rug, the little space pillow on the floor there from the little campers kit. That is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. The little space lamp on the bedside table as well. I just had the best time. I love giving rooms a definitive theme, particularly if they're kids' rooms. It just makes for a really good time. What can I say? I also gave this Sim a little like the craft table, I think it's called, so that they can craft things. But that is pretty much it for this house, this build, this room. So I really hope you enjoyed this. This is possibly one of my favourite houses that I've done for a while, so I'd really love to hear your thoughts. But if you would like to download this house, it is available from the gallery right now. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box just below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here today. You all take care, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye!